Tuesday morning breathwork session where we'll get ourselves focused and energized for the day. So we'll find our space, our standing space, starting off with some spinal cord breathing. So a little bit more bend in the knees. It's a bit like a cat-cow in yoga, so you're extending the spine. You're doing that pelvic tilt, opening up the chest, lifting the sternum towards the sky, and then curling yourself up into a little ball. Get that nice, slow, smooth movement. Just take it gently to start off with, no forcing. It's a morning time, so it's like a nice morning stretch. We're breathing in, just let the breath in through the nose, let the energy pour into the body, and then we breathe out. Breathe in. Remembering we're doing these movements to get the spine moving, energized, activated, and the rib cage moving and activated so that we can breathe efficiently. We're creating space for the breath. Next breath, rotate over to your right hand side and breathe into the right side. And then breathe out down the center. Rotate to the left. Breathe out to the center. Still tilting the pelvis, still lifting the sternum, still tucking under as you come back to the center. And notice that subtle shift side to side. So you have to be strong there down the right side. Subtle weight shift. And we will do one more each side. And then take a moment's rest. Give yourself a little bit of a shake, walk around if you need to. And just give yourself a moment to balance with your feet about hip width apart, soft knees. Strong through the legs, nice and light and lifted through the spine, shoulders relaxed, face muscles relaxed. And just bringing your attention to your breath and that very clear physical sensation. So you can feel that slightly cooler air coming in through the nose as the breath enters the body and slightly warmer. See if you can notice that temperature change. It's slightly warmer as it leaves. Even if you're indoors, you can feel that difference. Just tune into that for a few breaths. Slightly warmer air coming in, slightly cooler leaving. And this is just natural, normal breathing. We're not breathing in any particular way or controlling the breath. You're just allowing the body to breathe easy. Good, just that stillness, and then we'll step out, shoulder width, a little bit of bend in the knees. Let's start that side to side, shift. Remember, when we're doing this, we're shifting the weight. We're not taking the hips side to side. So if I take the hips side to side, my shoulders go the other way, the hips go that way. For the purposes of this movement, we're not doing that. We're doing shifting the hips, torso goes with it to start off with. Shifting the hips, shoulders stay in line with the hips. And then when you sort of like release the torso, the hips are still nice and strong. The weight is still shifting side to side through the feet in connection with the floor, but the spine is just waving on top of the hips. And just pay attention to lower back. It's nice to work your way slowly up the spine. And that mid back, so the bottom of the ribs, back of the body, upper back, and then neck. So it's the spine that's waving. I'm not moving the shoulders, I'm not doing a shoulder roll. Spine is waving. Side to side. Getting that spine mobilized, oiled. So that every time we breathe in, there's really subtle movement throughout the spine and the rib cage. Breathing lightly in and out through the nose. Just breathe as you feel comfortable. Really slow it down gradually, nice and slow. And then when you're ready, we just do the rotation. So we go into knocking. Start slowly, making sure that you feel that connection to the floor, that connection through the ball of the foot, coming through into the belly, and that's what creates the drive of the rotation through the hips. And then the upper body, just nice and light on top. So you're not having to do any work with the arms, or the shoulders, or the head. It's just following that energy coming from the ground upwards. You can let the elbows bend ever so slightly. If you start to build the momentum a little bit more. And it's that momentum, that energy from the ground and through the legs into the hips, that's creating that bend in the elbow. Just tapping on belly and back. Remembering when we're tapping on the back, it's the back of the hand is just tapping on that lower back. It's very tempting to forget about driving from the ground up through the hips. So we get a little bit tired here, so we start just moving the arms, doing a load of work with the arms, keep that power through the hips and the center. Breath with this is just light and easy, in and out through your nose. Lips just lightly together. And the arm that swings across the front now just comes into a light fist and just taps just below the collarbone. Just lightly tapping, just at the top of the lungs. And you may need a little bit more drive from the ground through to the hips to create that rotation, to just let the arms swing freely. And let's take a fuller breath here. So we breathe in through the nose and just sigh out. let go. Cleansing, clearing. Breath in through the nose, full of breath. And let go. And then breathe easy, just breathe easy, breathe light. Front arm now, we create like a cup with a hand and it comes into the shoulder. So we're getting a vibration into the shoulder, blood flow into the shoulder, still powering from the hips and the center. Keeping tall through the spine. Back down to chest. Back down to belly. Relaxing the shoulders. Really pay attention to letting the shoulders relax. Upper back relax. And then really slowly slow it down into water waves. And here you add just that little bit of resistance in the movement. So it's like you are just running your hands and your fingers through dense air or water. Get that spiral movement as well, so the wrist spiral, the elbow spiral, the shoulder spiral. Front and back of the body. Slowing it down. Bringing your feet a little bit closer together to go into some good shaking. And you can either keep your feet flat on the ground and use the legs as pumps, arms as pumps, and spine as that pump to shake the body, or it's really nice if you are comfortable with it just to really tap the heels into the ground as well, so you get that extra vibration. Feel it through the bones, all the way through the fascia, the ligaments, the tendons, the muscles, the organs. And let the shoulders go, let the head go a little bit. Use the wrists a little bit more if you need to. And we can breathe in a little bit more, full breath in. And just 1 or 2, 3 of those breaths. If it feels good, if it feels that you need it. If you had a stressful day or there's loads going on, this is one of the easiest ways just to de-stress a little bit. Let go of any tightness and tension in the body where you're unnecessarily holding. So breath in and out. I'm going to do one more. If you want to do one more, breath in and let go. Slowing it down now, slowing it down. Coming to standing. Open up from the shoulders a little bit, just open the chest a little bit. And just stand for a moment, eyes open or closed, whatever works. And just tune in to the body, tune into those tingling sensations. Particularly, generally feel it in the hands, maybe in the legs as well, the feet, the calves. All that electricity in the cells, the energy in the cells, every single cell of the body. Nice. Have a little walk around if you need to walk around. And then come to standing shoulder width, a little bit of bend in the knees. Palms pressing together. So a little bit of pressing there through the palms, a little bit of squeezing. Watch the shoulders don't rise up. So keep the shoulders down. Sternum lifted ever so slightly. So just that little bit, not that we're forcing the chest forward. So you're just tall through the spine. Squeezing the palms together. And then opening the palms. Now as we open the palms up, you lift your heart up to the sky. And then we close. And that little bit of a squeeze. It's a bit like you're squeezing energy into the body as you squeeze. And as we squeeze, we have that little bit of softness. So the ribs come back down. These front ribs here come back down. Almost like squeezing a little bit into the abdomen. And then again we lift our heart to the sky, so we extend, we look up, and then we bring palms together, press, squeeze, squeezing the palms together, just squeezing a little bit here, not forcing. Heart to sky. And then palms together. There is a little bit of movement in the lower back, but I really want to focus on this movement here in the sternum and in the upper back here. So I'm not locked and just lifting the neck, I'm lifting my heart to sky, I'm not compressing that lower back. Few movements like this, really just focusing at the moment on the mechanics of the movement. Getting that upper back moving and opening. Getting the front of the spine here opening. Squeezing here. Stretching out. And now we've got this movement working, smooth, fluid movement. Let's bring our attention to the breath, and the breath is just naturally breath in, breath out. Squeeze at the end of that exhale, a little bit of a squeeze, and then breath in. Breath out. And find your own rhythm, your own pace. And if you really struggle with the breath, just maybe slow the movement and just breathe easy through it. But ideally, you want to be focusing on that long inhale, long exhale. So we're naturally slowing the breath. Breath in, And if I breathe in too quickly, if I pull too much air in, then you're only halfway. So it's not about pulling air in. It's almost allowing the air just to flow in as we lift our heart up to the sky. Squeeze. Let's do one more. And take a rest there. You may want to give your arms a little bit of a shake. And then just breathe easy for a minute. It's always nice just to take that moment in between the movements, just focusing on the air and that subtle breathing as the air just comes in through the nostrils and as it leaves. And if you can really tune in, notice that change in temperature. Slightly cooler air as it comes in through the nose, slightly warmer as it leaves. Let's go back to heart to sky. This time we're going to add an extended squeeze at the bottom of the breath. So we're going to extend, we'll do the breath in, we'll do the breath out, and then when we get to the point where breath out, we just squeeze and we just pause, 2, 3, 4, 5. So we're just pausing the breath so that the next breath is a nice, satisfying inhale. And it might be a little bit quicker, you might need a little bit quicker here, but it's still smooth. And then we breathe out, and then we pause. So let's do that together. So we'll go breath in. Breath out. And pause, squeeze. 5, breath in. Breath out. And push those palms together, squeeze. Breath in. Breath out. And squeeze. And then take a rest. So this one, you may find a little bit challenging. So we don't want to get to that point where we're struggling to breathe, or we're out of breath, or we feel a really sense of strong air hunger. But we're extending the breath. Think of it as extending and lengthening the breath out. So we'll do it all together. So we're doing almost like a count of 5, 5, and then pause for 5. So let's go again on this one. So palms squeezing together. Just breathe easy for a moment. And then when you're ready, breath in. Breath out. And pause, squeeze, push the palms together. Breath in. Breath out. And pause, squeeze. Breath in. Breath out. And squeeze. And then take a rest. And that breath in, like I said, it could be a little bit quicker. We're still doing it over like a 5 count. So it might be breathing in It's almost like breathe that first breath in, might be a little bit quicker. It doesn't have to be exactly the same pace throughout that 5. So you might get a little bit of a lull at the top of that in breath, breath out, and then squeeze. And you can almost squeeze the diaphragm up a little bit. Again, without actually overdoing it, but it's almost like that little bit of squeeze of those upper abdomen just to help to, it's almost like concentrating energy. Think of it as squeezing energy from the blood into every single cell in the body. Because when we pause the breath or hold for a little bit longer, even for a shorter period of time, we're not running out of oxygen. So we're not depriving the body of oxygen. What we're actually doing is helping to draw the oxygen from the blood into the tissues. So we're energizing ourselves more with that little bit of a squeeze. Let's do that one more time. So palms together. Start off with that little bit of squeeze. We'll do it all together. And we will go breath in. Lift up the chest, breath out. And squeeze. Squeeze that energy into the body. And then breath in, breath out, squeeze. One more, breath in, breath out, and squeeze. Nice. Take a rest there, shake your legs out if you need to. And then when you're ready, come back to your standing position and just pulling down the sky, so lifting up, just breathing easy now with the movement. Breath in, breath out. Going at your own comfortable pace. Here the shoulders are relaxed, the elbows bend. And coming down that center line, head, heart, and belly. Just breathing light, slow. And on this one, we'll bring the palms, the hands across each other, and then bring them resting on the lower abdomen, bringing the feet together. And just tune in to the breath deep into this area here. So how this area responds as you breathe in, breathing into the hips, breathing into the lower abdomen, closing your eyes if that feels comfortable. And just allowing the body to move on its own, rocking and swaying. You're not having to control anything. And if your mind wanders, as it will do when you're doing any type of practice like this, where there's an element of stillness, actually use that as a reminder just to gently guide your attention back to where we're focusing at the moment. So just that breath deep, almost like a thin thread of air deep into the body. when you're ready on the next breath, take a fuller breath in through the nose. At the top of the breath, you can open your eyes. Come back into the space around you. Stretch, shake, tap, rub, whatever you may feel you need. And that's the start of our week, or the start of our Tuesday morning, the start of our movement and breathwork practice. I hope you've had a good session this morning. I hope you feel energized, focused, and I will see you on Thursday for the movement. Zoomers, those on Zoom, I'll see you at 7:45 for our catch-up. Everybody on Facebook and YouTube, then we'll be live as usual at 8 o'clock on Thursday morning. Have a great day. Thanks for joining. See you later. Bye.